Hello and welcome to Elizabeth's Craft Room. Today we're going to make this card using some of the new goodies from the Stampin' Up catalogue, including one of my favourite stamp sets that's in there, and that's called Gorgeous Grunge. Now, I don't really do grungy, but when you have a grunge set like this, you can do neat grunge. And so we're going to be doing neat grunge, and what's more, we're going to be in pretty grunge today. I've been doing some kind of man cards and some kind of browns and greens and things with my grunge, but today we're going to do summer starfruit grunge behind some flowers, so just make it really pretty. So I'm going to start out with one of the stamps from Mixed Bunch. We're going to use this one today, and I'm going to stamp that with Strawberry Slush onto Strawberry Slush cardstock. And punch that out. Next we're going to do one of the stamps from Flower Shop. Now watch out when you're mounting this. I've got a wood mount version. Can you see I've got little arrows? When you're actually mounting these up, to make sure they fit the punch, you're going to want to punch first. So you punch it this way up, then you flip it over and lay it down on the back, and then you can actually see that you're putting this in the right place. Can you see that fits exactly? But as soon as I start turning it, it's a bit off. It's not exactly symmetrical. So that's how I would suggest you mount if you're doing wood mount. If you're doing clear mount, I would put an arrow on the back. So again, on the back of the stamp, you can see which way up you're going to stamp. That'll make it a lot easier when you come to punch out. So I'm going to use crisp cantaloupe, and I'm going to stamp with two of these images in crisp cantaloupe. So with my arrow facing up, I'm going to do this one and this one. These stamps are all beautiful and they're all different. You can get lots of different looks with them. One in particular is really tropical. This one's a more natural one, and then we've got funky ones. So they're just lovely. So get that lined up. Off we go. And then I've got a dauber with crisp cantaloupe, and I'm just going to go round the edges of those flowers to give them a little bit more colour. There we go. And a little press in the middle to give them some shape. Okay. So in the middle of my flowers, I'm going to have, this is from the Itty Bitty Punch Pack, and we've got two little flower shapes, and then I've also got, she says, looking for her, a 1/2 inch circle punch to go into the middle one, middle of the big one, and once again I'm going to give that a little press to make the petals pop up a little bit. And I'm going to put some Tombow into the middle of those and pop those in. And then I'm going to set those aside for a minute. Oh, just noticed I've got blue ink on my finger, which is interesting because I didn't think I'd used blue ink today. Okay. So, moving on, we're now going to do the leaves. Now the leaves I'm going to do with this new punch, which is the Mosaic Punch. Have a look on my blog if you haven't seen it, because I have done a card using this as leaves and as petals, inspired by one of my fellow demos, Helen. Hello, Helen. And so I'm just going to draw in some little veins into the leaf. It's just the idea of it, doesn't need to be especially accurate, which is just as well with that one. And once again with the dauber. And I'm using The colour I'm using for the leaves themselves is pistachio pudding, and the colour I'm using for the dauber and that marker is wild wasabi. It's still a shade darker. I'll put that aside. And you can curl these with a bone folder if you like. And give those just a little bit of curl to them. Bit of dimension. Right, now on to the background card where we're going to use our gorgeous grunge. I'm using today a I'm all ums today, aren't I? I'm using today the Naturals white cardstock, and I'm going to stamp this with some ink splotches, and I'm using Summer Star Fruit. I'm going to come across this way this time, slightly different than my original card, and I'm going to put some ink splotches on there, and then I'm going to build my card with some dimensionals. So one each for the flowers. Start off with that one. And this one. And then also dimensionals for the leaves. Let's take a couple of those. And I'll decide where I'm going to pop those in. I think we'll have one there. And one there. Oh, helps if you take the back off. They stick even better then. There we go. And then the greeting I'm using is from Sassy Salutations, and I'm going to use, I have mounted it up somewhere, here we go, I'm going to use Happy Birthday, and it's with baked brown sugar. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put my Happy Birthday down in this corner. There we go. So very quick and easy. A little bit of grunge, but pretty grunge. What could be better? I hope you've enjoyed your visit to Elizabeth's craft room today, and I'll be back soon with more projects.